We begin our coverage this evening with widespread and escalating flooding across central Indiana, where relentless rainstorms throughout the day have transformed ordinary roads into dangerous waterways and cut off communities from emergency access. The day began with light rain, but it quickly evolved into a dangerous weather emergency as moisture-rich air collided with a slow-moving upper-level low-pressure system, triggering downpours that dumped more than 6 inches of rain in multiple counties. By mid-morning, the National Weather Service issued a flurry of warnings as conditions deteriorated rapidly. Counties under flood warnings included Howard, Carroll, White, Putnam, Owen, Clay, Boone, and Marion, while expansive flood watches extended to over a dozen more, stretching from Hendricks and Morgan counties to Union, Franklin, and all the way south to Vigo and Sullivan. These warnings signaled not just concern for creeks and rivers, but immediate danger from overwhelmed drainage systems, flooded intersections, and unstable infrastructure. One of the worst-hit areas was Kokomo, just south of town, at the intersection of Dixon Road and State Road 26. Residents were met with scenes of rising water, swallowing mailboxes, curbs, and roads. Video footage from this area shows vehicles partially submerged and residents wading through waist-high water just to reach safety. In some neighborhoods along Kickapoo Drive, cars became stranded in standing water, their headlights still on, now resembling floating debris in what used to be quiet residential streets. Meanwhile, along Alto Road in Kokomo, the already soaked ground gave way in dramatic fashion. A large sinkhole opened up, swallowing an entire section of the roadway in both directions. Emergency crews cordoned off the area immediately, warning motorists and pedestrians alike to avoid the region as engineers assessed the structural damage. This was not just a pothole or small collapse. This was a gaping crater, a reminder of how powerful and destructive nature can be when the soil becomes unstable and water has nowhere to go. Flooding also created dangerous driving conditions throughout Tipton County. County Road 0 was underwater between County Road 800 North and State Road 26. Further closures followed, as County Road 800 North itself was shut down between County Roads 100 and 200. These rural roads, essential for farm and local travel, quickly turned treacherous and, in some cases, completely disappeared under the floodwaters. In Thorntown, located in Boone County, floodwaters breached the skirting of several mobile homes. Residents watched helplessly as water poured into their yards, leaving their homes vulnerable to internal flooding. Boone County authorities acted swiftly, but were overwhelmed by the number of closures needed. Roads that had once been passable just hours earlier were now completely impassable. County Road 500 East was shut down between Pumpkin Vine Road and County Road 750 North. Additional closures followed on County Road 400 East between County Roads 850 and 750, as well as on County Road 300 East at County Road 950. County Road 950 itself became a river of runoff, blocked off between roads 200 and 300. Elsewhere, Fall Road was submerged and closed between County Road 900 West and Sugar Creek Road. These closures weren't limited to minor roadways. The Indiana Department of Transportation issued a warning that State Road 26 westbound had to be closed between U.S. Highway 31 and State Road 931. Standing water had overtaken this key corridor, forcing drivers to find alternate routes and stretching emergency responders then as they attempted to guide traffic through chaotic detours. Floodwaters across the region continued rising through the afternoon, especially near Wildcat Creek in north-central Indiana. The creek, already swollen from previous rainfall earlier in the week, was expected to crest several feet above its normal flood stage. According to the Indiana State Climate Office, this could become one of the worst flooding events for the Wildcat Creek Basin since July 4th, 2003, a flood that left long-lasting scars on the community and required months of recovery. By early afternoon, radar imagery confirmed the worst. An axis of slow-moving, high-intensity downpours had locked in over the Indianapolis metro area. The heavy rain band was feeding off a very tropical air mass, which allowed rainfall rates to exceed 2 inches per hour. Unlike traditional thunderstorms, many of these showers occurred with little to no lightning, quiet storms producing torrential rain. It caught many off guard. One particularly alarming report came in from Gaston, Indiana in Delaware County, where a resident recorded more than 6 inches of rain in just 3 hours. That volume of rainfall is not only disruptive, it's catastrophic, especially when combined with saturated ground and overfilled drainage systems. One particularly alarming report came in from Gaston, Indiana in Delaware County, where a resident recorded more than 6 inches of rain in just 3 hours. That volume of rainfall is not only disruptive, it's catastrophic, especially when combined with saturated ground and overfilled drainage systems. By 3:30 p.m., emergency management agencies and the National Weather Service both acknowledged that this was now a full-blown flooding crisis. Though the rain was expected to taper off by late afternoon, the damage had already been done. Roads were destroyed, homes were threatened, entire neighborhoods were left isolated. Local officials began issuing travel advisories across multiple counties, including Tipton, Hamilton, Clinton, and Howard. Residents were urged to avoid any non-essential travel, as conditions remained too volatile to ensure safe passage. The National Weather Service reiterated a now familiar but still vital warning: turn around, don't drown. This simple message can be a lifesaver. It only takes about 12 inches of moving water to sweep away a vehicle and just 6 inches to cause a driver to lose control. Beyond that, hidden dangers like eroded culverts, collapsed road beds, and fast-moving current beneath the surface make flooded roads especially deadly. Residents are urged to stay informed, stay indoors unless absolutely necessary, and report any structural issues or unsafe conditions to local authorities. As floodwaters begin to recede, communities will shift into recovery mode. Cleanup, insurance claims, and rebuilding efforts may take weeks, if not longer, for the hardest-hit areas. This has been one of the most widespread and impactful flood events in recent memory for central Indiana, with emergency declarations likely to follow in the coming days. We will continue to follow this story closely and bring you the latest updates as more information becomes available. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.